If you're not vegan, you're treating animals worse than the Nazis treated the Jews.
What did he say?
At Christmas time, I always look forward to a nice big ham on Christmas Day. Maybe a prime rib. Maybe you do the ham and the prime rib, but one thing I know is I want lots of delicious meats. And that drives the libs absolutely crazy, which is why I am so pleased to be joined today by my friend Ben Spell, the CEO and founder of Good Ranchers. Ben, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for all the excellent meat. You go to goodranchers.com/Knowles, use code Knowles, scream Knowles into the void while you do it. You can get the greatest deals on the best meat out there. Simple as that. We're going to see if these libs can convince me, a conservative podcaster, and you, the CEO and founder of a meat company, to go meat-free in 2024.
Let's do it.
Take it away.
A lot of people ask me why I went vegan, and it's honestly because I was tired of being a hypocrite. I'm an animal rights activist, a women's rights activist, and an environmentalist. And if you eat meat, you are none of the above. How are you going to advocate for animals and then go ahead and eat chicken nuggets after that? It just doesn't make sense. How are you going to advocate for women's rights and then you go and steal a mother's child, turn that into a cheeseburger, and then steal her milk, drink that for your breakfast? Some people are like, Sam, that's not a woman, that's a cow. It's the divine feminine. If it can create life, I'm gonna protect that. Lastly, I'm an environmentalist, right? I care about the planet Earth. I give a If we used all of the land and all of the water and all of the resources used to feed animals and use that instead to feed humans, oh my god, the things we could accomplish. And lastly, for spiritual reasons, because how the am I supposed to be an aligned, meditative if I am consuming a literal corpse that died screaming, that lived a life of hell? Because energy transfers, right? It doesn't destroy, it just gets transferred. I don't want that whack energy going inside of my body. And honestly, there's a lot more reasons, but those are just a few of the most important ones. And to non-vegans that want to argue with me in my comments, you better watch out what the you say, because I clap back.
She seems really at peace. You know, she doesn't have any of that bad energy in her, right?
You guys came out the gate with that one. I was not fully aware of what we were doing here.
Yeah.
Did
you find it persuasive?
No, it's ignorant at best.
I kind of followed it. It was, you can't support animal rights, which I don't, and, support killing animal. Okay, fine.
Sure.
You can't support women's rights. That one was a little weirder, and she got into this kind of kooky new age, divine feminine, weird occult demon talk. So, okay, she has a different religious view than I do.
I wonder what her stance on abortion is.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
They care a lot about a little cow or a Delta smelt. When it's the human baby, a very different view. Well, she never said she was a humanitarian.
This is true.
In her defense.
But be careful, she will clap back.
She'll clap back.
Yeah.
Next one.
Some of you just don't believe that my dog's a vegetarian. We're gonna see which one she likes. I don't force her to eat her salad. We have this really gross beef, and then I have this delicious green salad. So this is Bonnie. She is my little vegetarian, okay? Now, no.
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
No, it's not. What are you doing? I think that gal was in on the setup. I don't think that was a totally earnest video. But it is true. A dog has never chosen a piece of cabbage over a slice of bacon.
Yeah. I would question if it's the dog that did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Okay, next one.
If you're not vegan, you're treating animals worse than the Nazis treated the Jews.
What the hell?
And you are worse than Hitler and should be imprisoned and given the death sentence. Watch Dominion on YouTube to see what you have been paying for. This is an absolute atrocity. Animals are the most oppressed beings on this planet. I'm done with all your bullshit excuses. It's time to live vegan and stop paying for this tremendous holocaust that has been happening for way too long now. It's 2023. We should not be eating animal products, and we should not be giving bullshit excuses as to why we should keep paying for their rape, torture, enslavement, abuse, and murder. Live vegan.
Yeah, hold on.
What did he say?
Hold on. You kind of slipped that one in. At first, I thought this was a parody, but it's not. This guy's obviously serious. I've heard this argument from a serious person, namely Peter Singer. He's the founder, really, of the modern animal rights movement, though he doesn't really use that phrase. And he's a professor of philosophy at Princeton, and he totally defends abortion. But he totally opposes eating meat, the kind of thing you were
Makes
referencing
sense.
earlier. But his argument is a utilitarian argument. He says the reason to not eat meat is because animals suffer. And in order to reduce the most suffering for the most amount of sentient beings, we need to not eat meat.
Yeah.
What say you?
They talk about the suffering of the animals. There are some places that do it wrong.
Yeah,
Just
totally.
Everywhere in the world, there are bad things that happen every day because there's not all good people. We live in a fallen world. But by and large, happy cows taste better. These families are dependent on being able to sell these animals at the end of their life when they go to harvest them. If you abuse the animals, the marbling's not going to be there. They're not going to get as much money for them. So they are diligent to treat these animals right.
I mean, there's also just what they slip in there is this conflation of human beings and animals, but we're distinct from animals, right? And even they would acknowledge there's this fundamental difference because they don't think that we should put a cow on trial for biting a child. They don't think that we should put a gorilla on trial for violating some abstract concept of justice because animals are not able to conceive of justice in the abstract. So there's that. And then there's just the error of their moral reasoning, which is it's utilitarian. That is not a proper view of ethics. It's certainly not the Christian view. It's not the traditional view in our civilization, where we view the goodness or badness of an action on the action itself. And so we recognize there's nothing immoral in killing an animal, certainly not for our own food.
The people making these videos have no idea. They've never been on a farm.
Right.
They've never been on a ranch.
Yeah.
They have no clue even what they're talking
Have they ever interacted with a cow?
Probably.
Have they ever walked up to a cow? Probably not. Probably not.
Probably not.
Okay, next one.
2, 1, sing. Eating animals is wrong, McDonald's. Hurting animals is wrong, McDonald's. Share this song and change your entire menu to be vegan from now on.
Okay.
The pitch was pretty good. Oddly, I'm not saying the song was good.
Yeah.
Her pitch was surprisingly good. The point and the lyrics were not great.
Yeah. Eating animals is wrong, McDonald's.
Now, in fairness, too, I don't know how much of McDonald's meat is actually technically meat.
That's
I imagine
mostly
there's right. But I guess my question to someone like her is, why is it wrong? I've never heard a coherent philosophical argument as to why it's wrong to eat meat.
Yeah. Well, the first girl, her thing was cruelty to animals.
Like suffering.
Yeah.
I talked to a friend of mine who's a farmer, and the animals are all pretty happy. He said they only have one bad day in their lives. It happens to be the last one.
That's
but
exactly right.
Otherwise, they have really nice lives.
That's exactly right.
And C.S. Lewis made this point I think it was in Mere Christianity. He said, you don't want to be cruel to animals. No, we don't want to be cruel to animals at all. That deadens our humanity. It cultivates really bad vices and habits. But you can be very nice to animals and very kind and gracious to animals.
Absolutely.
And eat them.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's the way it should be.
Yeah.
The whole vegan movement, the PETA, all of these groups that are anti-meat, so let's call it the anti-meat movement, they have done an amazing job of dehumanizing the farmer, the family farm. And what people don't realize, because one of the girls, that first girl, she said it, a cow and then a cheeseburger. And what she doesn't realize is there's 2 years of raising that cow by a mom, a dad, and their kids. 700,000 independent farms and ranches in the U.S., and the average herd size is about 50.
Really?
Yes. And nobody knows these stats because they've done a great job of erasing the family farm, taking the face from the farmer, and just putting in your head that there's a cow, we don't know where it came from, it goes into a factory with smoke, and out comes a steak or out comes a cheeseburger.
Right.
And we're so far removed from our food supply as a society, and that's how you get these videos like this. Let's watch another one.
Okay.
This is fun.
You right there, love?
You gonna eat that?
Well, yeah, I'll just get my sauce.
You shouldn't be eating meat.
Well, it's not meat, it's chicken.
No, it's meat. That's wrong.
What do you mean
It
it's
had a
wrong?
heartbeat. It had a life. It had a soul.
Yeah, but it doesn't have it anymore, though.
No, because people like you are eating
Love,
meat. I mean,
love, we're outside of KFC.
sorry?
We're outside of KFC, love.
Yes, I know, which is why I'm here trying to educate people like you about meat.
But hold on a minute, yeah? You're wearing a leather jacket.
This is vintage.
Wait, what?
Like, this is vintage.
Okay, why is that relevant?
It was killed many, many years ago, before veganism, before any of this was
Okay.
came to light.
Yeah.
I'm not going to throw away a perfectly good jacket. It's cold out here.
Yeah, I'm not going to
okay?
throw away a perfectly good chicken. I'm hungry out here.
but
But
people
they're going
like
to kill
you
the
are
people
making-
like you. Cows are dying because of the jacket.
No, oh, God, no.
Do you want one, love?
No, I'm not going to be eating
But why?
flesh.
It's not flesh, it's fried.
It's not flesh, it's fried.
That can't be real. Do you think that's real? It might be real.
I don't know.
She gave a compelling performance anyway,
Yeah.
and plenty of these vegan vegetarian types ignore their own hypocrisy when it's convenient to them. But the part that really struck me there, she goes, "It's an animal. It has a soul." And he says, "Yeah, not anymore." I guess the issue with all of these arguments and videos is they anthropomorphize the animal. They seem to believe that animals are just like humans, when anyone who's ever met an animal knows they're not.
You know, it actually reminds me of in the Old Testament when Israel left, and what did they do? They turned to Baal.
Right. They turned and worshipped a golden calf. Now we're seeing the libs worship actual calves. And some of us enjoy eating those calves as veal, especially the Italian people. We really like a good veal. I don't know. I don't want to get greedy. When can I look forward to veal? I'm an Italian boy in America.
Yeah, as we continue to grow, we will continually be expanding our product line.
Amazing.
I got one for you.
Okay.
So two vegan and a vegetarian were standing on a cliff debating on who would hit the ground first. So they both jump off. Who wins?
All of us.
Society.
Society. I knew it was going to be something like that. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for your excellent product.
Thank you.
And your support of the show.
You're very welcome.
And we will see you after I have my delicious Christmas ham.
Let's go for it.
All right.